introduce the location of traditional garment Soswaewon, and then theological background, and then after I'll explain the theoretical background as a background, Taoism, of Oriental Taoism, and the deconstruction in Western philosophy. Soswaewon is located in the southern part of Korea. So in front part, there is a small town and bamboo road entry. We have bamboo road, and then we have a small house, choja. We call it thatched house, and we have valleys down. Valleys in the middle of, and then we have 4 buildings, Kwangpongap and Jaewolgang, and two buildings are not exist anymore. It's a guide map of Soswaewon. Here is bamboo road, here is entrance, Kwangpongap, and then in the upper part we have Jaewolgang. From now on, explain how was it constructed, what kind of theories. The naming, this comes from Chinese. Soswaewon, the so means the sound of rain and clean water. So the Soswaewon means clean and natural forest. So this garden planning was based on the harmony of natural and then artificial elements. So here I explain how was planned through the Taoism and deconstruction theory. We call it in Korean was Lao Tzu is the man. He invented theory. Lao gives a true picture of life as interchanging and flowing experience in which nothing can be permanently held or absolutely known. This god was built in Jang of Korea. He was nobleman in Joseon Dynasty. He worked in Seoul also at that time. But returned his hometown, he built this house. So taekwondo have a do in the end of judo also has the same character translated in the end of the judo. Tao, just means the way or road, and te literally means virtue. When you combine these two characters, Tao de means morality. You know the meaning of morality. The way, method, doctrine that man has to do in a natural way is a morality. So, the Tao is not the first meaning, the way. Taekwondo, judo also has not just martial arts. The main concept of Taoism is Wu Wei, associated with this water, just like water flowing. What flows from up to the downward. It goes its own way. And then one is main keyword of this Taoism is Pu. Pu is simple or simplicity, uncovered block. Uncovered block. It means the block or rocks as it is, which was not treated by hand or artificial. It's a natural conditions as it is. So this Pu, always seen as keeping oneself in a beginning state of Tao. As the main keyword and concept of Taoism, the matter of being and non-being is concerned in this Taoism. Okay, the intangible contents in things regarded as something real. It's a tangible thing. You can touch. You can make it. It's intangible thing. There is intangible thing. We can make it. We can touch. So molding clay. When you make a porcelain with clay, how to make it this vessel? We make it shells outside, and naturally we have void inside. We make outside to make a void. We get this surface, outer face of shell as being. We can regard this as non-being. A Western author conveys his thought on this Taoism this way. Taoism is the way of man's cooperation with the course and trend of the nature world whose principles we discover in the flow, like water flow, air flow, something like that. So when you think about this Taoism, we also treat I Ching. We call it Yogya in Korean. It includes Taoistic philosophy contained in its insight and advices. Here, I in Korean means changing or varying. This graphic presentation is image of Taoism. It shows natural conditions which have the water is flowing. In the upper part, we have this kind of symbol, means yin, yang, plus and minus. So, Korean national flag is this. This comes from this yin-yang theory. We call this tag flag. It means the end of economy of this plus and minus, which have balance in the end. So, when it concerns void as a negative and then solid as positive, we realize this vessel consists of this kind of void and solid. And then, as Taoism said, nothing can be more flexible, soft than water. Water is the most flexible thing. Even though it is soft, it can break and it can cut the iron also. You know that water can cut these kinds of thick irons, just one. Softest can be the strongest one. That's why we are concentrating the water. So, and then the similarly, Taoism treats the simplicity. As I said, I Ching said, everything varies according to the conditions. So there is nothing is perfect. There is perfect man. There is no perfect woman. There is only man-like man. There is a woman-like man, woman. It was the main concept of this my lecture. Sometimes woman can vary to man. You understand? Not agree. Woman can be a woman sometimes in such conditions. There is no defined perfect one in the universe. When we return to the architecture of Taoism, nature eliminates surplus. Surplus is overflowing, compensate for deficiency. Man-made woman to compensate for its deficiency. The way to acquire positive is to contain negative. We have already shells outside of porcelain. We have positive and then we have negative inside. And architecturally speaking, man's experience in space includes smell, hearing, and touching, and then interrelated sense of temperature also. And the view and distance will be considered also. And then variability and complement. The fire has no shape. Water has no shape. It varies according to the conditions. When it has in this bottle, it has this kind of shape. When it flows in the valley, it has free forms. So the formation changes periodically according to time and change of viewpoint. And then about this balance equilibrium, the precise relationship of component factors and visual is beyond analysis. It's related with irrational and individuality and unity. Things are the manifestation of being. Being comes from non-being. And the obvious unity comes from physical continuity, could be achieved by relating each other tangible forms in the proximity by a common void. So when the significance of unity of surrounding spaces is recognized by architect and he maximizes the freedom of the range by the composition of unity. Now there was Taoist theories. You just remind that it based on the naturalism, just like water. It has no shape. There is no truth. There is no absolute truth. It varies according to the conditions. I explained the deconstruction. As I said, the false binary opposition, man and woman. Man is better, woman. Historically, yes, it will be. But now, But man's thought, man is superior to woman. Man was first, woman was second. So in these binary oppositions, the former one was the better. It was thought, former was the first, and the latter is the second. It's a kind of thought to present something. Derrida said, when you think of someone as being a good person, it's because of entity of badness as a background. The same as this contents in Taoism. Since the both conception and perception, white cannot be white without any black. Without the force of binary opposition. However, Derrida did not agree with this absolute hierarchy of Plato insisted man is superior to woman. So, in the relationship, man and woman, fresh and old, rational, irrational, object, subject. According to Derrida, the former, man, fresh, the red word is not better than the latter, woman or old animal. So, traditionally, good was good, bad was bad. So we trace good. Rational, real, being, presence was the prime one. But by the way of this deconstruction, bad can be a good. These two words can be equal. None being cannot be treated as inferior one to the former one. From this point, the deconstruction is not just a theory. We can call it feminist theory. Feminist because woman is not anymore inferior to man. Woman can be treated as man. So we can expand our range of thought from rational range to irrational. Some consciousness and subconscious can be treated as the same equally. So the keyword in deconstruction can be betweenness and intertextuality. It's the writing of deconstruction. It's only difficult theories, metaphysics and metaphorics. We can display something, changing something in locating far away. Let's have our assumption. Our goal is there. We have to go there. When I go slowly, I can get in 10 minutes there. But when I jump, I can get in 2 seconds. But when I walk slowly, my motion is very similar to previous one. It lies in the context background. It's very similar. But when I jump, my motion is a little different from previous one. But it is connected, it has meanings, it is interrelated relationship between two. So when you think it is nothing, it is completely different from previous one. When you think this is nothing, but it is something. To get goal and fast, we have to jump. It's a way of jump. To express something in a different way, which is look different, but it has some same meanings in it. So return to the modern architecture. What is the goal of modern architecture? It aims to have buildings which have functions and durability and structures and beauty, something like that. One of the cleverest deconstructionists is Eisman. He thought the traditional architectural concept is not anymore true. So we concentrate and focus on the post-structuralism. So he put architects in the real and surreal position, presence and absence. Absence was inferior to presence. Traditional architecture was like to make presence, but Eisman denies to build the kind of architecture anymore. When you build buildings in a site, is it completely finished at a time, just one building construction. The meaning of site, as Professor said yesterday, it varies according to the social conditions. You know, constructivism is issued in Russia in 1900, and especially constructivists also treat the movement. They don't want building as a static one. They want building can be moved and changing according to the conditions. So, to catch up with this ideological theory, we have to overcome the knowledge. So we have to put architecture in the presence and absence. There is something special beyond the knowledge. And then subconsciousness and then non-programming. I explained this lecture through my consciousness. Who knows? I'm doing something of subconsciously. And programming. When we design this building, we calculate number of persons who are participating, and we count number of persons and multiply the space per person. We finally decide the size of the building. It's a program, space program. It comes from consciousness calculation of rational. But as I said, subconsciousness can be called as consciousness, isn't it? So programming or non-programming can be treated as a good one. There are deconstruction architects. There are some arguments on this definition with deconstructionists. I think some can be treated as a constructivist. Deconstructivist a little different from deconstruction. But from the view, Sumi and Eisman and Remplas can be treated as deconstructionist. Remplas. Deconstruction is the way how to think these kind of things. So the forms you get twisted and turned. When this building put in the Leningrad street of Avarovsk, can you agree as a context of a street? Is it breaking your context? Do you admit that breaking context? In rising theory, when you plant a tree, you every day you control these trees towards some way. We cannot control. The roots go their own way. So rhizomic theories which are familiar to this construction theory. So as I said, this third irreal forms an atypical shape of the construction. What is that? Ideology. Even though it has a formal shape, we can call it deconstruction. So, from now on, I summarize the similarity between Taoism and deconstruction this way. So, explained by Soswaewon in this category. As I said, it's composed of 3 steps and composed of these buildings and valleys in the middle. And there are buildings components. Buildings, statue roof. It's a very simple one. It's just like resting place. And then we have here Bangpunggap. It's a very important place to read books, welcoming visitors. And then in the highest position we have Jewel Dam here. It is a secondary house of the owner. And then they have floor heating rooms there. And the previous one also had window rooms also. And then we have walls which closing the boundary, but it is connected somewhere, and it permits to go waters in the valley. As I said, trees, scenes, touching and hearing is component of our architectural elements. So there is a scenario for this seeing and touch and hearing and other elements, natural elements, sunlight, wind, and twisting sound of birds, nature. And also the Pungsu theory was applied. In the rear part we have mountains, in the front part we have waters. From now I explain this place in the view of this theoretical background. Natural conditions was the main item of Taoism. So minimum artificial treatment was done on this project. And then on carved blocks, rocks and natural conditions was persisted in this project with any modification. The rocks, same as 500 years ago, when you modify some steps, we have minimized it. And in the relationship with surroundings, it's a kind of foliage. So there is any concrete boundaries around this site. It is actually open interconnection with surroundings and outside. So the walls was done this way, disconnected somewhere. There is continuous communication each other inner part with outer. And then every kinds of trees, blossoms, natural falls, windmills make this place paradise. So when everybody visit here, they can be a poet. And then as the construction, these buildings, Luzhong and Jawadang, Pampanga, can be roles of voidness. It has defined any functions. It varies according to the conditions. When you lift the room doors, it can be open, it can be a void space. Every building can be a sleep place, rest place, amusement place, welcome place, except it has meaning of fullness. Architecturally, it's enough to have gaps to make it, but they designed to have a gate, formal gate, because there is an imaginal enclosure of walls there. The walls are physically open, but ideally it is closed, so they want to design a gate there. It's fully. It's a lot of functions of buildings like police in another project. So finally, we can get harmony of sense, springs or no autometer. So, as the name of Soswaewon, the sound of rain, clean water, clean and natural forest is full of sun, water, wind, birds, and green simultaneous sunlight. All humankind's senses are combined in a marvelous way. That's why I call this garden is so beautiful. When you visit Korea, you come here, you feel with your body the future. This the end of conclusion. We found some similarities and theoretical background of this building through taoism and deconstruction. You can find some similarities and theoretical background based on deconstruction theory also. It is not so big, but it's very precious stone. So government want to enroll to UNESCO Heritage of World Architectural Heritage. So you can visit there before enrolling UNESCO. It will be very expensive to go into that building after enrollment. Okay, that's the end of my lecture. I hope you have some good information on this project.